Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. My name is Cassandra and this is Ellabella Plans. Today I'm going to be sharing my personal size rings setup. This has been a long time coming. I have been trying to get cozy in my personal size rings for what I feel like is a month and a half. I'd get to a point where everything was nice and cozy and then life would happen and I would actually be somewhat busy in this time of coronavirus. So I'm finally sitting down today, actually for the second time to film this. The first time I did such a big whoops and deleted all of the footage, but I am here today to share with you what's going on in here. So if you've looked at my previous videos, I was toying with the idea of using an A6 Hobonichi Techo as a daily planner, and that is no longer happening. I've instead decided to use that as a memory keeper, and so I've added some sections into my personal size rings. So to start off, this is from Gillio. This is the medium Compagna in the color anthracite with 30mm rings. I definitely need 30mm rings in here right now. As you can see, this is nice and chunky. It's definitely a brick to carry around, but I love it. I do switch out the rings in this planner from 25mm to 30mm depending on the season of life, and with homeschool right around the corner, 30mm rings were necessary. So to start off in my little front section here, I have two ollie blocks in the snow leopard print. I keep a task card here to keep track of any PR items that need to be taken off of my to-do list. Just a little vellum card that I laminated as some decoration. In the front secretarial pocket, I do have a sticker pocket from Ribbon and Nib, and in here I just keep some of my most used stickers. So I have a freebie from Nora's Cove, some headers, finance stickers, dewdrops, highlighters, dots, corners. I have a PR haul on my channel in case you wanted to kind of see what I've picked up from Nora's Cove. I am a PR person for Yoshida's shop and my code is Ella15 in case you'd like to check that out. If you do so, please let me know because I'd love to know what you pick up. In the zipper pocket here, I just keep some most frequently used addresses and a few of my husband's business cards. And that's pretty much it. The zipper pocket isn't used often, but when it is used, you know, it's usually needed. So after my flyleaf here, I just have a card pocket from Cloth and Paper. And in here, I have some planner cards from Nora's Cove, Vibrate Higher, Energy is Everything, and then a September calendar card from Cloth and Paper. The back are going to be some cards again from Cloth and Paper and Nora's Cove. I have this beautiful pumpkin dashboard from Sweet Deer Stationery that on the back side I've used to hold some post-it notes. After that, my first section is always a yearly. I just use a yearly calendar to track my cycle. And then I do have the previous year as well. My dividers are from Sesavi. I've had these dividers for at least 6 months now, and they're my absolute favorite. After my first side tab, I have a little moon phase card from Virgo and Paper and acetate from Peanuts Planner Co. My first tab section is always a monthly. My cover pages are from SM Plans. These are the 2019 Fall Florals. And I should mention, unless otherwise noted, all of my inserts are from Sierra over at SM Plans on Etsy. So my month on 2 pages is like the bread and butter of my planner. I always have a month on 2 page. It's just what I use to look at my month, see if we're absolutely overwhelmed with engagements, but you know, it obviously kind of cleared up after the pandemic. So here is August, and now we are into September. So after my month on 2 page, my second side tab is my inbox section. So I just kind of cleared out my inbox and got it going for the next half of the year. So really what I use my inbox for is just appointments that need to be made, and that's it. I don't put really anything else in my inbox. It's just kind of like high priority items, that don't need to be done at a certain time, but yes, they have to be done. And so that's my inbox. My third side tab is my weekly section. So this little layering beauty is everything from my cloth and paper subscription box from, I believe, July and August. And then another little cover section. And I am using the cloth on paper weeklies because they come in my, subscription box. I use the month on 2 page in here to track our meal planning. And I've actually really been enjoying doing that. It gives me a nice month at a glance as to what we're eating every week and maybe what we could make that we haven't had yet this month. So this is just a quick look at these weeklies, and then this is the current week. And here's the next week. So after that, my fourth side tab is going to be dailies. So I do keep this zone cleaning insert from Nora's Cove and right in front of my dailies because I can also very easily access it on my weeklies. But so here I just have a post-it note kind of drawing out books that I want to reread, and then I wanted to take the Franklin Covey planner training. Again, the past month and a half, I feel like I've been trying to get cozy in my personal size rings again, and it wasn't really happening. So I bought the A6 Hobonichi Techo, and then I also considered going to Franklin Covey for a hot minute. I listened to the podcast, The Planner Pocket, and they were talking about the Franklin Covey system, and I was getting a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. And then I realized as I was looking at the Franklin Covey inserts, I could very easily take some of my printable inserts from SM Plans and create a similar layout. So here we have what I've done, and that's take the Mix and Match Weekly. I printed the notes pages, and then I took the Minimalist Daily, and what I basically did was I put a notes page, Minimalist Daily. And so this has not been used yet. Again, I'd like to take the Franklin Covey planner training, and I might do that next weekend, but we shall see. So I have this ready to go because I do like to use dailies when I get overwhelmed. So that leads us to my fifth side tab. And back here, I just have kind of my Ella Bella Plans PR section. So this is a dashboard from Cloth and Paper layered over vellum from Nora's Cove that says "Do it for the aesthetic." And I have here just a habit tracker from Cloth and Paper. I'm going to be using this for tracking the month of September, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and YouTube uploads. So I have a dashboard here from GG Plannery with my handle at Ella Bella Plans, layered over some vellum from the Planner Spot. I have a bottom tab here that was made for me by my friend Vanessa over at Whimsy Planner, and this just brings me right to an income and expense report. This is a custom that I had made from Sierra. And this is just to track my authorized printing services. So I am also an authorized printer for Sierra at SM Plans. If you would like to purchase any printed inserts, the link is below in the description. So this leads me to my first top tab set of dividers. So there are 6 top tabs as well in my planner, and this is going to be the first set of 3. I kind of view the first set of 3 as my notes section. So for my first top tab, it's a notes section. So I just have some notes regarding homeschooling. I have some just quick notes around meal planning. And then after these pages, I did stick in some, I believe these are called executive notes from Cloth and Paper. My second top tab is going to have I think they call these vision boards. This was made from Hannah over at Caffeine and Plans. I believe she made this last year and asked if anyone wanted the file to DM her. I did because it's obviously beautiful. And so I printed it out this year to use in my planner. And then on the back side, I just used some of the fall florals from 2019 in Sierra's shop. So this section is my Black Lives Matter section. This insert is from Vienna Ortiz, and I've had this in my planner since George Floyd. This section is very personal, and I don't want to trigger anyone, so all I'm going to say is Black Lives Matter, and I highly recommend that you get this insert from Vienna Ortiz if you are a white person. So following that section, I do have my third top tab, and this is going to be for my lists. My list section, I reference maybe once a month, but I just refuse to take it out of my planner. I just have some Post-it notes with my skincare, essential oil notes, capsule wardrobe notes, more skincare, my favorite pen, the Uniball Jetstream, my favorite refills, so on and so forth. So that's my list section. And my very last side tab, so my 6th side tab, is where I keep my homeschooling section. So full transparency, this is our first year homeschooling. I'm taking it as easy as possible because it is kindergarten for my oldest and preschool for my youngest. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like hoping and praying that I'm doing the best I can for my family. So if you're a seasoned homeschooler, reach out, let me know. If there's anything that I may be like missing, or we do live in Minnesota, so our homeschooling requirements are somewhat minimal. It's really just, you have a set amount of subjects that you have to teach at some point in time, and your letter of intent, and that's kind of it. So in my homeschool section, what I've decided to do, and maybe I should talk about the deco quick. So this is just a Foxy Fix dashboard with a card from Wildly Noted and some photos of my beautiful family. Backside, I have a cloth and paper journaling card. This is from Purpose to Papery, and then some more cloth and paper and the planner spot vellum. So how I've decided to track out this calendar year is I printed off a month on one page for 2020. I marked the days with this grayish transparent dot from Nora's Cove. And I did that, for these few months. As you can see, the color changes because this is the week when we started to, homeschool. Our preschool wasn't doing any sort of distance learning. Occasionally they would post a Facebook Live, but that's about it. So I kind of had to take it into my own hands, what we were doing with the kids. So what I started was, I believe this is called the Productive Weekly from SM Plans. I had the 2 sections per kiddo, and then what I was doing was writing down what we were doing every day, and then also kind of like a little checklist sort of with what I wanted to do for the week. So this worked, but it wasn't really ideal for pre-planning or checking off like how many subjects we were focusing on during the week. So once my husband and I had decided that we were going to be homeschooling, I reached out to Sierra to get a custom done, and this is what we came up with. So what I asked for was a Monday through Friday with 7 subjects over 3 pages. So we have 2 subjects here, 3 subjects here, and then another 2 subjects with a note page in between. This way, as I'm talking with my kiddos and, they're letting me know what they want to learn, like for art. My youngest wants to know how to draw horses and dinosaurs. I could make note of that. Or for me, as I'm thinking, I can be like, okay, we need to make sure that, we have our ABC mouse purchased for the year. And then I wanted to look into Hooked on Phonics. So this was just a kind of, so this was an example of how I wanted to do our weeks, sort of. What I did was I was just very intentional that I wanted to kind of look at what we were doing with our workbooks and then what we were just learning as it came to thought. So like we watercolored on Monday, we played Monopoly, and we had our oldest be the banker. My kiddos were cutting their own you know, yogurt top. So I wrote down, you know, holding scissors because that is really important for the preschooler. We went to a dinosaur adventure that was drive-through, and so we were talking about, you know, dinosaurs and that stuff. So this was kind of me just like sitting down and writing out what we were doing and learning without trying to. So our district doesn't start school until after Labor Day, and that's really when I'm gonna hit the homeschooling, you know, hard. But at the same time, it is preschool and kindergarten, and I don't want to overwhelm my kids. So we're gonna just take it day by day. But this is the custom insert that I've had done so that we can definitely keep an eye on, you know, what subjects it is that we're learning and what we maybe need to buy a curriculum for. So I just have that month on one page through the rest of 2020. Then we get to my last top tab section. So this is very much dedicated towards finances. My first top tab here, I just have another Foxy Fix dashboard with a cloth and paper card, photos of my family. And this is going to be holiday planning. So right now, the only thing I'm focused on right now is our budget. We don't know what the holidays are going to look like this year, so I want to try to make it as special as possible. So with that comes, you know, some pre-planning. All I have in here right now are these holiday budget inserts from SM Plans, and that's it. My second top tab is going to be for bills. So I just have this finances cover, and I just keep a running list of monthly bills. And the last top tab is going to be for online orders. I have a FICO scores card from Sequins and Paper, some more planner spot vellum, and then an order tracker, Foxy Fix page lifter, and then we get to the back pocket. So here I just have cards like in case of emergency, medical information, contact information, and then business cards for our primary care physicians. So this is something that is new to my planner. This idea came from Donna over at Blush and Blue. I can't exactly remember what she calls a notebook like this, but it's all medical information. So she has a highlight called Bullet Journal on her Instagram, and in that she walks through what kind of information she keeps in here. I mean, and she might just call it long-term collections, but I remembered seeing it and I was like, I have to do this because I have tons of field notes and they just need to be used. So in here, what I have is a list of my medications, my medical history, my health timeline, and then for the rest of my family. And so this is just slipped into the back secretarial pocket. And then we get to the back pocket. So the back pocket I've always called the junk drawer of my planner. What I keep in there are updated vaccination records and primary care records for my family and our pets. And that's it. Occasionally, if you know I've done a deposit online, I'll keep that, you know, check back there. I've sometimes kept a checkbook register back there. It just all kind of depends. It's a junk drawer of my planner. Any paperwork that I get goes right in there until it's filed later at home. And there you have it. That is my personal size rings. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at Ellabella Plans in case you'd like to see more frequent updates on my personal size planning. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks, you guys.